Hey, welcome to my show where we talk about things that aren't so controversial. Very family-friendly show today. Wow. This might be new news or old news depending on how you look at it, where you are on the internet. But streamer Hasan Piker, who you probably know as Hasanabi, he got banned from Twitch for 1 week, I think. Well, he got banned for saying a slur. And what is that slur that he got banned for? He said the term cracker. Yes, the anti-white racist slur cracker, which I will have to just censor at least a couple times in this video so I don't get banned for saying cracker and calling white people crackers, because apparently that's racist now. Apparently white people are being oppressed because of this term and discriminated against because they were called crackers. And so today we want to look at some of the people who do agree that Hasan should have been banned, because as crazy as you think this might be, a lot of people think it was justified and that he should have been banned for using the term cracker. Someone who also self-identifies as a white person. Hasan says that he considers himself white, but you know, does that make it so anyone who claims a slur because of their oppression can't use that slur anymore? Ask Twitch, because I don't know. I think you know what my take on the situation is. I'm calling white people crackers in this video. I think you know where I stand on it. I think it's stupid, but I think other people have different opinions. The first person I want to start with is a channel called Versilify, who I used to watch when I was like a freshman in high school because he did Pokemon videos. He is a very weird guy. He wears a dog collar, which is fine. Wear whatever you want. He's an interesting guy. And I watched him. I used to watch him, so no one can come at me and be like, it's fine to wear a dog collar. Obviously it's fine. But when you act like this, I don't know what the call is on wearing dog collars. I'm not gonna make fun of anybody. But Versilify decided to put out a video about this. Apparently he's in the streaming community now. I thought he was just a Pokemon gamer who just cared about Pokemon, but apparently he has other things going on. Let's see what he has to say about this.
God damn, I never thought I'd see the day where Twitch gets so woke they defend white people, but here we are.
So he's saying that this is a woke move. You have become woke when you decide to defend white people for racism against them, because, you know, they experience that a lot.
So Hasan has been banned from Twitch for using the term cracker, and it is 100% absolutely deserved. Because what the left doesn't seem to understand...
Let's see what the left doesn't seem to understand.
...is that they will come for you. You reap what you sow, you've made your bed, now it's time to lie in it. Because when everything becomes cancelable and offensive, then when you use, and like you're not allowed to use any kind of slurs or anything derogatory, well, of course, when you use a derogatory term towards people you don't like, that can put you on the chopping block, and Twitch has decided cracker is no longer acceptable because we...
So if you decide that, you know, minorities and oppressed people don't deserve to be called derogatory words because of the way they look and stereotypes about them, all of a sudden you deserve now to get banned for calling white people crackers. Even if you are white, you still deserve to get banned for that because you were the one that wanted all these words to get banned. So now every word's gonna get banned. You made your bed, you sleep in it. White people are oppressed. We can't let them be oppressed any longer. This is deserved.
We've been losing more and more words and more things you can and can't say. Things have gotten so deranged on Twitch that simps have become a protected class.
So this was an article from 2020, December of 2020, more than a year ago. So it's old news and they never really did anything about simp. They didn't really do anything about it. And it's the same thing with this. Nothing's gonna change. No one's gonna end up getting banned more than this. The only reason why he got banned is because people on the right and a lot of right-wing, you know, streamers who do politics, specifically Destiny, who is a big streamer on the right, have been prying and begging Twitch to ban Hasan for this because they want someone from the left to be, you know, disciplined for saying something that is very textbook dictionary definition, a slur. If you really close one of your eyes and shake your head and look at the definition, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess it's a slur because it's used in a derogatory way. It's like calling crap or heck a swear word. Cracker, yeah, cracker. Apparently, who knows if this video will get taken down if I call a white person a cracker. Is it bad if I call Versilify a cracker? Am I suddenly being racist towards a white person and I need to be taken off the site? what if I start considering myself a white person? All of a sudden I'm a cracker, and then I'm calling another white person a cracker. If I streamed that and said that Versilify is a cracker, but then I'm also a cracker, is Twitch gonna scan me and then be like, is this guy white? Well, his dad's white, his mom's not white. He doesn't consider himself white, but I mean, I guess one day, he could look white. He looks kind of white. What are you gonna do? Am I white? Who's to say? Maybe I'll decide to be white so I can start calling people crackers. And if you're sitting there going, yeesh, she's really calling white people crackers a lot, you're defending, people being racist against white people, which isn't real because they're not oppressed and they never have been. And the term came from being a slave owner. So you're calling a white person a slave owner, which isn't really a slur because you're telling them that they're in a position of power. Every slur comes from a place of punching down and saying derogatory things to people, but having a slur come from something that was a place of power for those kind of people doesn't really line up with every other slur that exists.
Like, this is what the left wanted. The left wanted it to where
this is what the left wanted. This is what the left wanted.
No one can ever be insulted ever, depending on their identity or beliefs. So if you use an anti-white term like cracker, yeah, that is completely in line with what's been happening.
So the argument for this that Versilify is saying right now is you guys wanted it to be a bannable offense to be racist towards minorities. So why are you mad now that it's happening to white people? We should have done what I said all along and allowed us to say the N-word to black people, and none of this would have happened in the first place if you just let me be racist towards other people. If you let me call gay people the F slur and you let me say the R slur, then everything would have been clean. My hands would have been clean, but now we can't say cracker and it's your fault. It's just such a stupid argument. So go ahead. You're on YouTube right now. Why don't you start saying racist slurs here?
But the problem is a lot of people just believe that you can't be racist towards white people, and then that allows the use of derogatory terms towards white people to kind of flourish to where Hasan has been using it and has finally been banned. So things have gotten just, yeah, the oppression Olympics has hit a new low and free speech is dead online. Like, I don't like that part of it, but hey, if you can't say anything, then yeah, get banned for what.
So is he happy or not? And what part are you happy about? He's like, I don't like the part where we can't say anything online anymore. I want to be able to say all these slurs. What is your content where that's necessary? I hate the idea that free speech isn't real anymore. You can say whatever you want online. Just don't say words that are like awful towards other people. And is not one of those. No one's ever cared about being called a cracker. The only reason this has become an issue is because people said, oh wait, he's using that term in a derogatory way towards white people, so we should capitalize on this and try to get Twitch to ban him for that, since he is the same person that would get mad at us for saying slurs against other minorities like black and brown people. Let's see the comments, because this is one of the few videos from a right-wing person that has gotten more dislikes than likes here. We got 591 likes to 687 dislikes. It's like these comments. I kind of respect it because even though I hate censorship, it acknowledges that you cannot be rude to anyone. No double standard. But there is a double standard because saying cracker and saying the N-word are two different things. Two very different things, because everyone seems fine on every other platform with saying the word cracker. If it wasn't the same thing, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying the word cracker because I don't say slurs. But I will call a white person a cracker because it's not a slur. And it doesn't matter. I'm mostly a lefty, but when it comes to the way they treat language and censorship, I'm absolutely disgusted by the way these morons act. This is why I refuse to truly align myself with either side. Okay, then you're not a lefty. If you say I don't want to align with either side, then you're just a centrist, which just makes you a right-winger because you just end up falling into their belief system. It's absolutely mind-blowing how so many people can be absolutely delusional hypocrites with no self-awareness whatsoever. It makes my blood boil with misanthropy. Misanthropy. Also, before someone says in the comments, oh, so you're just going to group moderates with Republicans? So why? Oh, so if someone doesn't agree with you, suddenly they're a Republican? Yeah, take a freaking test online and see where you rank with the rest of the world. I promise you, if you think you're a moderate, you're definitely on the right side of things. And not the right side of things, just the left, not the left side of things is what I'm trying to say. I want to see what Tim Pool has to say about it with his beanie.
I do not agree in principle with these personalities being banned. However, Vosh explained to us that private companies, if they don't want you on the platform, you got to follow the rules. Maybe you should follow the rules. Hasan himself, in a video not even that long ago, he talks about how all these conservatives, they want to make an echo chamber, but they want to own the lib, so they want to be on Twitter and they want to be on these platforms. Maybe they shouldn't be violating the rules. Okay. In principle, I believe it is wrong that Hasan and Vosh have been banned from Twitch.
This is a funny position for these type of people to be put into because they want to so bad say that Hasan should be off the platform, but all they've ever preached is that we should be able to say anything we want and the internet should be a cesspool of people just calling other people slurs and harassing them. And so now that someone's been banned for calling what they think, or I guess what Twitch thinks is a slur, no one even agrees. It's hard for the right to say that this is a bad thing to say because half of the people are like, we should be able to say anything. Nothing's a slur. We should just be able to like call everybody derogatory names. And then the other half is like, cracker's a slur. You shouldn't call white people crackers. It's a bad thing to say. But then we'll turn around and be like, no, the N-word's fine to say. What's wrong about saying the N-word? They say it. What's wrong with me saying it? You know, a healthy middle ground would be to say, hey, maybe the N-word's a bad thing to say, but cracker is fine because it's the word cracker. And white people have never been oppressed by use of the word.
They should be allowed to be on these platforms and engaging in public discourse the same as anybody else. I do believe there is a line in which we do ban content and that censorship is not inherently evil. What do I mean by that? Ian Crossland, you may have seen him on Timcast IRL. He's one of the co-hosts, and he is a co-founder of Minds.com. That is the social media platform Minds. He actually had to do for quite a long time content review. Why? People post graphic murder and child abuse, and this stuff is illegal, like overtly illegal content. And I don't mean like speech and expression. I mean videos.
Tim Pool is forced to have like a decent take here, but where I stop saying it's decent is the fact that he basically agrees with me that they should stay on the platform, but there is a line. And I totally agree with that. They should stay on, but we shouldn't have everything be free speech. The difference between Tim and myself is that his line between gross content being here, Hasan's up here, and his line of content is like way down here, where only the stuff that passes the line is like stuff that's straight up like stuff with children and animal abuse and like illegal videos that like should not be on the internet. And he thinks everything that's like speech and expression should be allowed. You should be able to call like anybody anything. My line is like way farther ahead of that, where I don't think we should be derogatory towards people who actually face that oppression and have a history behind those words. Like there is actual history behind those words. The history behind cracker is like what, a slave owner cracking a whip and you calling a white person that who hasn't had to deal with oppression their whole lives. What part of that is gonna like hit home for them if you call them that? What part of them is gonna be like, oh man, that life, it sucks that I had people in my past who had to deal with being slave owners. That really sucks for me. It's like, no, just get over it. For other people, it actually, there's weight to those words. Their ancestors actually went through shit because of those words. Cracker, you didn't go through anything because of that word. Not everything's so black and white. There's a little bit of nuance to everything if you didn't notice. But sometimes people don't like to play that game. Sometimes life is very simple to some people, and that's what's funny. What is Review Tech USA? I don't know what side of the line this guy is on. He's got a decent amount of likes, but he looks kind of creepy. He looks like the guy who did the toys in Toy Story.
Piker has a beard. A beard. I'm sorry I ignore you. I already have to do it. I have to constantly in my brain cycle through what I'm saying on the fly, which is dangerous territory when you live stream, to make sure you are not going to be canceled or banned.
Okay, so that's a self-report right there saying, I constantly have to be cycling through my head, making sure I don't get banned or canceled. If you have to consciously make sure you're not saying slurs, that's a you problem. That's something that you need to look inside and realize for yourself. I don't stream and I don't make videos and worry that a slur is gonna pop out of my mouth besides your slur, which is cracker. That'll slip out every once in a while, calling people. But I never have to worry about whether or not what I say is gonna be offensive, because you just have to like know whether or not it's offensive. That's why I'm still here.
It's an interesting game of mental chess that you have to play as a live streamer. Quite interesting. Well,
yes, that game of mental chess where you try not to say the N-word on stream. That's tough.
Hasan Piker also plays that game of chess.
No, he doesn't. The reason he said cracker is because it wasn't even on Twitch's list of words that you couldn't use, because you can type that in Twitch and the auto mod won't even check it. They just had to make up a new word for the list of slurs that you can't say so they could ban him. It wasn't on their radar before because no one cared.
And Hasan Piker got banned off Twitch. This comes from Kotaku.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. So I'm not even going to say the word here because it may also be on YouTube's radar too, but...
So this cracker doesn't... No, I know this video is going to get either demonetized or limited monetization, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care. I think it's, worth talking about, and I'm not going to bleep myself out every time I say it, and I'm not going to avoid the word. Because it's the word cracker and it's used to offend white people because their ancestors owned slaves. I just don't really know any white person who deep down actually is angry about it, besides for the fact that they're not allowed to say the N-word without getting in trouble, but people of color can call them crackers. So they're like, oh, I have to put a stop to this. I need to be oppressed in some way too. Because these right-wing people act like this is a Twitch issue, which it is, but the reason it happened was because people complained about it, and not people of color who are getting in trouble for saying the word, but white people who are offended because someone is using that word against them. If you think that this is like the woke police coming after you, you're wrong, because the reason Twitch did it was because of people that are on the right side. But not the right side, not the left side is what I'm trying to say.
The word crack, and then you can add an ER to
You're white, you can say cracker, it's okay.
it. A serious racial slur. A fact many only learned this week.
Dude, he's like literally blocking it out. Like, you're white, and it says it in this article. It's okay. Even if you're not white, it's okay. Well, apparently it's not if you're on Twitch, but man, they're having such a hard time figuring out what it is they believe now. But it seems like even people on the right, like with Versilify, will be mad at someone like him if they say that it's right. I don't think the majority of people, even on, the right conservative side, believe that Hasan should be banned. It just depends what side you're on. Whether you're on the side of you can't say derogatory slurs towards oppressed individuals or oppressed groups of people, but you can say cracker, or you can say cracker online, but you should also be able to say all these slurs. It just depends where you're at. It's just another discussion of whether or not it's okay to call minorities slurs. And yeah, it's still not okay. It's just such a funny conversation. Why do people care if they're called a cracker if you're white? And if you do care, why? Why would you ever care? Destiny is the main leader of this whole thing. And, with 250,000 views, not a lot of those are dislikes, because he's the one leading the charge saying that no one should be able to say cracker if you also can't say the N-word. And he frequently uses the N-word. If you look at his Twitter, he is using the N-word all over the place. He probably will in this video too, just to show that he doesn't have this double standard between slurs.
Opinion on the C word is like,
Okay,
what?
5 years ago, 4 years ago, making fun of white people was funny. It was a funny meme. It was a good meme. Everybody was white. Even black people on the internet were made fun of for being white. It was just a funny meme.
What black people on the internet were made fun of for being white is a funny meme. So I'm gonna show. Wait, am I missing something? Is that a meme? Maybe it is. I wasn't there for
The
it.
problem is that it's not funny anymore because half the motherfuckers on Twitter unironically fucking hate white people. So it's not fun anymore. Okay.
It's not fun anymore for me because they actually hate white people because they're racist towards me. They hate white people. Who cares if they hate white people? Do you know how many people that are minorities are hated by white people? Why do you care if someone hates you back? You already hate minorities, Destiny. Why does this change anything? Literally, just relax. I can't believe he's like, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore. It was fun to make fun of white people, and now I'm not having fun anymore. I'm being bullied.
Okay? It's like when you use bad words growing up and then you find out you have an actual racist friend. It changes a lot. Okay? The cracker word and everything is the exact same. It was funny, but now when you guys unironically run around on Twitter acting like you actually hate white people, it's not funny anymore. It's also like alienating and polarizing as fuck. You can't have this world where you're like, oh, we need to be super sensitive to every marginalized group of people.
Destiny literally uses the N-word, like, often, as a white person. How can you say it's polarizing if you're using a slur against black people often and you're fine with it? This is literally what you look like. You can't say, what are you, huh?
this world where you're like, oh, we need to be super sensitive to every marginalized group of people because, like, oh, like if you're black and you see too many white characters on TV, it's going to destroy your spirit and blah blah blah. And then on the flip side, you're like, oh, well, if you're white and people call you like a cracker ass, cracker loser, like the Mayo side, white genocide, LOL, pasty snow goblin. Oh, but like you should understand that none of that is actually bad because your class of citizen, you know, actually has most of the wealth in this country, even if you individually like you're.
It's funny because he's almost making a case against him because he literally was like, people do it against marginalized communities and it's okay. But then suddenly when you have slurs against the people who hold most of the wealth in this country, it's okay. And you're like, well, yeah, I guess that's a good point. But besides that, which I don't even like, isn't even necessarily my full opinion on it, besides the fact that they aren't oppressed, which I agree with, which isn't his take. I don't know what his take is. If you call someone a cracker ass, loser, cracker, whatever, that's not really a funny joke, but it's not racist. Like, I think he's saying he's like, it's not fun anymore because people call you a cracker, loser, cracker, idiot, cracker, white, pasty, mayo cracker, and they think it's funny. But it's not. It's racist. It's not racist. It's just not funny. That's why it's not fun anymore. It's because the joke's just lame. But if you just call Destiny a cracker, yeah, that's funny because he's so upset about it. Because he can't say all these other slurs, which he does say, but people get mad at it. But apparently, once people aren't mad at someone for calling someone a cracker, he has to go and pull a whole double standard thing and throw a temper tantrum and then get Hasan and other people banned off for saying the word cracker.
Your expectations are unbelievably different there between two groups of people. We should probably treat most people like people. If we're going to say that like slurs are bad, they should probably be bad across the board, you know, save for some rare exceptional circumstance. But like just trying to like do this mental gymnastics, like, oh, well, calling white people cracker isn't actually a slur because if you look at the etymology of the word, right? Like this is.
You don't even have to say, look at the etymology of the word. You just have to say, because they're white. If you're a white person and someone calls you a cracker, what is there to be upset about? Like, what did you lose? What hit you there? You know, what hurts in that situation? Where does that history date back to? Because people like Destiny, I know they don't care that their ancestors were slave owners. I know he couldn't care less about the fact that it's not going to be him. It's not hitting him and going, man, it really upsets me that one of my ancestors was probably a slave owner. That sucks. You know, I really wish someone wouldn't call me that word. No, he's thinking that because he's like, man, people get mad at me for saying the N-word and they can call me crackers and now everyone's laughing. You know, I call you, they call me a cracker and you're laughing. Well, let me Joker something about the Joker. I don't know. I'm done with the video. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll do some fundraiser with YouTube on the sidebar or underneath if you're on mobile, where you can donate to an organization that helps people who are actually oppressed and, you know, experience racism. And maybe we can do some good. I'll throw $50 in there. You throw $50 in there, or none. Just watch the video and you're already helping support. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Shut it down. Bye-bye.